Hi everyone, welcome to Even the Scales. Thank you for clicking on my video today, and I hope you're having a good day. My name's Donna, and I'm back on my channel right now because I want to talk more about the dangerous situation that I'm in right now. I also want to talk about how I want the illegal camera that is in my home taken away as soon as possible. And I've had to actually create this channel, Even the Scales, because what I'm going through here is all about it's all happening because of a police cover up. And I've had to create Even the Scales just to try and get help because of the danger I'm in, because the justice system have blocked every avenue of help that I try and reach out for. And what they've basically been doing is trying to abuse me to death. They've been paying members of the community to do this, and they're trying to cause me a serious health episode, either physically or mentally. And what I've been going through here is MK Ultra mind control abuse. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's when a large group of people all get together and carry out very cruel abuse tactics on one individual, and it is to try and cause them a serious health episode, or it's to try and make them give up hope in their life, so that they take their own life, or even death. A lot of people have passed away from going through MK Ultra, and I've been going through this for over a year now. I've been purposely isolated by my community and my family members, and there's no support or help whatsoever. So that's why I've had to create this channel, just so that I could have a voice and speak about what's going on here. And the health system has also teamed up with the justice system and been a part of this. And I have health conditions that the health system have not told me about. So basically, what they've been trying to do is make those health conditions worse. I have good reason to believe that I've had a stroke in the past, that the health system has, and they've held back that information from me. And what they're trying to do by putting me through this abuse is they're just trying to cause, a stroke or a heart problem or something like that again. And they're doing this by constantly putting me through this relentless, cruel abuse. The abuse is very, very cruel. And they're trying to keep me in a state of fight or flight. So I'm constantly trying to fight for my life, trying to fight for peace, even in my own home. They've pretty much attacked every area of my life to try and cause my life to fall apart as well. They've taken away all the normal support systems that a person would reach out to when going through abuse. All the organisations and people that I've reached out to over the course of the past year while I've been going through this, organisations and people that are meant to help people going through abuse, um, they have been told to either not help me, or they've been bribed not to help me, or they've manipulated me in some way and caused me, disappointment. They haven't been able to help me. So this must be what the justice system do to people that know about people that work in the justice system that have committed crimes. They just try and take them out, because this is what they've done to me. The only crime that I am guilty of is speaking up about justice for myself. And I wrote a letter to the police over a year ago now. It was actually in November 2023. I wrote a letter to the police explaining all the injustices that I've been through over the past 10 years while I have dealt with family and domestic violence in my life. And it was just after that the majority of the community here in Campbelltown, New South Wales, started putting me through this abuse. So this is what they're trying to cover up. They're trying to cover up how the police responded to those calls for help while I was living in that situation. I mean, I'm still living with domestic violence right now because of the abuse that I'm going through. And they're also covering up for a pedophile that is connected to my family that I spoke up about, and they've done nothing about that person. The police haven't. That person is still living in a community here in Campbelltown, and they did nothing about that person because that was all just a part of the psychological abuse that they've been putting me through. They just didn't want me to ever receive any justice. My family have been a part of this because they have stolen an inheritance from me, and they don't want to be held accountable for that. So they have teamed up with the justice system, and then the health system has teamed up as well, and with them as well. And then also my landlord has been involved, St George Community Housing. So there's absolutely no one to call out to for help right now, which is why I'm talking about this again today. And because I've been speaking up about this on this channel, and the truth is getting out more and more, there's not as many ways that they can get to me anymore to put me through abuse. So what they've been doing is they've been using the people that have close access to me, so my closest neighbours, and they're also stalking me when I go out as well. There's not as many stalkers anymore, but I'm still being stalked when I go out. Over the past year here in Campbelltown, as a part of this abuse, there have been environmental crimes committed. And this is because of the noise attacks and pollution attacks that they've been carrying out that were a part of the abuse that was being carried out on me. They've been carrying out these noise attacks over the past year, where they just create all this excess noise and pollution using any kind of transport. There was one going on early this morning in the early hours here, that they take place here nearly every morning. And um, it's meant to show some kind of domination over me, because there is actually a camera. This illegal camera is in my home, and it's just random members of the community that can view into my home and watch me in my home as a part of this abuse. There's also the Campbelltown police can watch me in my home. They watch me going through all the abuse that I've been through, and they do nothing because, I mean, they're behind the whole thing. My abusive family members can watch me in my home as well. They've watched me go through a lot of suffering over the past year. And also the neighbours that are involved in this that live around me, they can also watch me in my home. And this is so, people can have that control over my life and watch things that I do in my own home, and then create abuse around what I'm doing in my home, around my routines and the things that I do. So when they carry out these noise attacks, they'll usually carry them out when I just, like, as soon as I wake up of a morning. And that's just to show that they have that dominance over me, over knowing what I'm doing in my home. And they'll carry out a noise attack. And they also, sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble communicating today. I think it must be good old Mercury retrograde affecting me a lot today. But yeah, because I've been speaking out about this abuse, there's been environmental crimes committed as a part of the noise attacks, and the abuse that's been carried out on me has been very, very inhumane and cruel. It's been very cruel. It's a lot of it's been like cruel psychological torture that I have gone through here, and my human rights are being violated in very, very extreme ways. The way that I've had to live with this camera in my home for I don't know if the camera's been in my home for over a year. I know that people have been able to hear what I do inside my home for over a year, but I'm not sure about the camera. I know when the camera got placed in my home, and that is well over 6 months ago now. Um, but I do know that I've been being stalked for over a year. And, these noise attacks that they were carrying out, they didn't only affect me, and they're still carrying them out. They haven't only affected me, they've been affecting the whole town. They've been, like, there was one going on this morning, and my heart went out to the children. It really did, because it was going on, probably started at about 4:30 this morning, and then at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, there was just like, horrific noise coming from the motorbikes and different kinds of transport that they were using all around the streets here. And my heart just really went out to the small children around town, because this is who it would have been affect. This is who um, these attacks would have been affecting the most, is the children. The long-term effects that these noise attacks are going to have on this town are probably going to be seen in the future. And I don't think anyone thought about the long-term effects. And this is because I wasn't meant to survive this long. I definitely am not meant to be here right now in the justice system's eyes, and the people that have been involved in this. They've obviously done it to people before in the past and got away with it. And I can tell that they have, because of just how far they've gone to do this to me. They've gone to absolute extremes to carry this abuse out on me. Some of the lengths that they've gone to set me up in different ways is just unbelievable. And you can go back and watch, any of the videos, the earlier videos that I've made, and they will talk more about the noise attacks that have gone on here and how they would have been causing environmental damage. There was this setup where I got taken to the Campbelltown Public Hospital, and I was put through 5 weeks of cruel psychological abuse, and it was all meant to cause me a mental health episode. They got me to the hospital, and then they tried to cause me a mental health episode after they got me there, by putting me through weeks of really cruel, inhumane abuse. And I'm still going through this cruel abuse here every day, from the closest neighbours that are involved in this, that live around me. And yeah, when I go out, I'm still going through abuse, and they're still carrying out these noise attacks. And they've become like just a part of this town here in Campbelltown. And over the past year, they've just become like a regular thing. And they are actually the least of my worries right now. Although, it breaks my heart to know that they're ruining the environment and probably affecting the children in very negative ways, and the wildlife and things like that. They are the least of my worries right now, because of the abuse that I'm being put through in my home. So I was stalked this morning. I'm stalked every time I go out. I'm stalked on the road, just by random people that can view me in my home. My car can also be tracked everywhere I go, so people follow me where I go, just to deliberately stalk me and carry out psychological abuse. All of my devices have also been hacked, so everything I do on my phone, all of my personal business, everything I do on my laptop, even filming this video right now, everyone involved in the stalking that can view into my home can view me filming this video before I even put it up on YouTube. So this is how extreme my human rights and privacy is being violated right now. So they've scaled down the abuse. They've had to. That's because of the environmental crimes, and just of the crimes against humanity that have been carried out here in Campbelltown as a part of this justice system cover-up. The crimes that have been carried out here can be classed as crimes against international laws. They violate international criminal law. So right now, yeah, I'm still being stalked when I go out. I'm still stalked when I go into public places like shopping centres and things like that as well. People just come towards me to carry out cruel psychological abuse, and sometimes they will do things like they'll mock me. They'll mock things that I've done in my home just to make me feel that feeling of humiliation. It's very degrading, and it's very cruel abuse. And it's surprising it's really opened up my eyes, just to see how much of the population out there is actually willing to go out and abuse someone for money. It really opened up my eyes because it's a very large majority of the community has been a part of this. Right now, I'm in a very dangerous situation because the neighbours that adjoin to my home have the ability to be able to control the air in my home. And my landlord, St George Community Housing, has actually rigged their range hoods in their homes so that they can do this. And they've still been doing this morning. This morning when I woke up, one of the neighbours was just breathing cigarette smoke into my home constantly. And I mean, these neighbours have put me through so much abuse over the past year. Like, they stalk me 24 hours a day. They never stop stalking me. And they're being paid to do this. They're being paid to take my life. And my three closest neighbours have the ability to control the air in my home through their range hoods. The range hoods have been rigged so that everything that gets put through them gets diverted into my home. So when they do this, whatever they send through just takes over my whole home. And they've been using cigarette smoke and all kinds of different smells, foul smells, to try and psychologically abuse me. And this was meant to make me look crazy, to drive me crazy. Um, I think, it was expected that I would probably call the police because I've called the landlord about it, and I will just get manipulated by them. Um, they'll try and play it down. They'll try and say, well, how are the smells getting into your home? And, oh, you need to call the police about that, and then if I had have called the Campbelltown police, who are actually sitting watching me go through this abuse on the camera that's installed in my home, they would have said to me that I was delusional. It was meant to make me look delusional, meant to make me look like I was imagining that I was smelling these smells. But there's no way that that's happening. Their range hoods have been rigged, and they are deliberately stalking me to try and cause me as much stress as possible. And these neighbours also watch me on the camera in my home. So they actually put me through abuse based on the things that I'm doing in my home, and then they can sit there and watch to see how I react to that abuse. So it's really demeaning, it's really degrading, and I shouldn't have to sit here with this camera in my home at all. I mean, no human being should have to go through this kind of abuse. The Campbelltown police are out there stalking me right now. They they stalk me all the time. They will just drive into an area close by, a couple of streets away, and they will put their siren on, and they will do this on and off throughout different times during the day. And they do this to try and um, to try and let the neighbours know that it's okay to abuse me. So if they're watching in on the camera in my home, and if they see me going through abuse from one of the neighbours that's abusing the air in my home, if they see me suffering, going through something like that, they will stalk the neighbourhood, just to try and cause the neighbours to abuse me more. It's more or less a sign to the neighbours that it's okay to abuse me. And they were doing this all day yesterday. And the more I seem to speak up about that, the more they do that. But I'm still not going to stop speaking up about it because um, the police here in Campbelltown, New South Wales, are just so cruel and so corrupt and so abusive. And people need to know what's going on here, because how many other people have they done this to and gotten away with it? How many other people has this landlord done this to and gotten away with it? I mean, the landlord has worked with the justice system to do this. The landlord is sitting back, prolonging me going through this abuse. I've been speaking out about this on this channel for weeks now. Um, been asking St George Community Housing to remove the camera from my home and fix the range hoods so that I don't have to sit here in my own home going through this abuse, like living in fear. But they're prolonging the abuse because they're actually hoping that something does happen to me so that they don't have to be held accountable for this, because they know they're caught and they're sitting back pretending that they're not seeing this, but they absolutely are seeing this. They are. Um, I mean, they have even sent me different messages and different communication, trying to psychologically abuse me and manipulate me as well. So they're definitely involved. They definitely know that I know that they're involved. I mean, you don't go to the trouble of rigging 3 of your tenants' range hoods so that they can purposely abuse one of the tenants to death and then not keep an eye on the situation. They're definitely watching this situation right now. They know what I'm going through, but they're just hoping that the abuse works. So, yeah, up until this morning, these neighbours were still tampering with the air in my home. So, I'm in a very dangerous situation there. These people just constantly watch me. They're constantly lurking around, just looking for ways to put me through abuse. And, the fact that they have gas stoves underneath the range hoods where they're sending these toxic substances through and these smells just shows what a dangerous situation I'm in right now. And these people that are putting me through this abuse, um, I can just honestly say, after what I've been through over the past year from these people are natural abusers. They enjoy inflicting harm on other people, on me anyway. They enjoy what they're doing. I mean, they do this for their entertainment, and it's all they do. It's all these people do. They do nothing else with their time but watch me and look for ways to abuse me, and they've done this for over a year. These people are absolute criminals. Not only have they been invading my privacy and watching me in my home for over a year, they can watch all my devices, and they have put me through abuse every single day for the past year. And I mean, even through the night, they're still stalking through the night. If they hear me wake up or anything like that, or if they know that I've woken up, they will put me through abuse in the middle of the night by tampering with the air, by sending cigarette smoke through. And one of them was doing this like at about 5 a.m. this morning, just constantly sending smoke through because they knew that I was trying to meditate. I mean, they're watching my phone as well, so they can see, what I'm doing on my phone. They knew that I was trying to meditate. So this is when they'll abuse me. They'll carry out abuse according to what I'm doing in my home at the time. And yes, some of them are like very sadistic too, in the way that they are carrying out this abuse. Like you can tell that they just enjoy um, abusing me and causing harm, and like they're high on having that power over me. That's what it is. They're just high on that. So yeah, the landlord and the Campbelltown police are using these abusive, some of them unstable neighbours right now to put me through abuse, and they're prolonging me getting help. They're prolonging owning up and taken accountability for what they have done, just hoping that something happens to me. And it's just not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Um, they're trying to drive me out of my home too, my landlord. I think my landlord's been hoping that I just move and then, they'll just get out of it. Everyone will just get out of it. No, that's not happening either. It's not. I'm not moving because I've done nothing wrong. I'm a good tenant. I don't deserve to be going through any of this, so I won't be moving at least until people have taken accountability for what they have put me through. So yeah, I think they're trying to make me move out, and they're trying to cause me this health episode. Like every single day, these neighbours are just trying to cause me to have a health episode. They actually carry out abuse after I've had a cup of coffee. Like that. That's how closely they watch me. If they see me have a cup of coffee, they will start carrying out abuse. They will all work together to carry out abuse as well, just to try and make my heart race. And yeah, they're still controlling the air. So, I'm in a very dangerous situation right now, very dangerous. There was an incident yesterday. Like this will just give you an idea of just how degrading and demeaning the situation is for me here with what I'm going through with this camera in my home. Like one of these neighbours is a male, and he's an absolute pervert to start with. And this person has access to watch me in my home 24 hours a day. And, it's not just him, it's random members of the community. Like, I've got no idea who's watching me in my home. There could be, like, just so many. I mean, no one should be watching me in my home at all. But God knows what weirdos are out there watching me in my home. And this person is a pervert. And, they're watching me in my home, which just makes me absolutely sick. And then I left the house yesterday and I walked outside, and then this person had the hide to woof whistle at me as I walked past their home from the inside of his house. And how disgusting is that? Like this person's actually watching me in my home, and this person, they just never stop looking for ways. This person lurks around me all day long. They go from the front to the back, from the front to the back of the house. They just watch me constantly, and they constantly look for ways to put me through abuse. And yeah, as I left the house yesterday, they did this, and like it really made me feel sick. Like, this disgusting person is able to view me in my home, watch me in my home, and then they have the hide to do that when I'm leaving the house. And that was done to try and provoke me, because that's another reason this is being done to me. It's being done to try and provoke me to have some kind of meltdown. But I mean, anyone would it would be quite normal for anyone to have an emotional outburst of some kind when they're being put through this kind of abuse. I mean, these people live within meters of me, and they're carrying out this cruel, relentless abuse, some of it very sadistic, all day, every day, tampering with the air in my home. And there's no one to call out to for help whatsoever. Like, of course, I feel like having a meltdown. I feel like screaming sometimes. But luckily, I have developed very strong control over my emotions. I've had to, because it's been a matter of survival where I've just had to, because I wouldn't have made it through this if I had have lost control at any point, because this is what they want. They want me to have that outburst, that emotional outburst, so that they can call the police on me and they can lock me up in a mental ward, because yeah, that's what they want. They want control over my life, and they're using these abusive people to do it. So, yeah, I'm just still in a very, very dangerous situation here. I need urgent help right now. It's an absolute emergency because these people are being paid to abuse me to death. These three neighbours that are joined to my home, there's no help. Police and my landlord are using these abusive people to put me through this abuse. They're prolonging this cruel abuse to go on and on and on. I want this camera removed from my home. If there's anyone out there that can help me in any way legally to have these people brought to justice, please, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from anyone who has any advice that can help me in any way. Um, anyone that, knows anyone that works in the justice system that isn't corrupt, that can help me, I'd really appreciate your help. If there's anyone out there that can help me remove this camera from my home, I'd love to hear from you too, because that is what is giving these neighbours the power over me right now to abuse me according to my movements in my home. And I can't just call out to anyone to get help for that because um, almost every service that I reach out to use or for help in any way gets intercepted by the justice system. And they either pay them not to help me, they bribe them, or they tell them they can't help me for whatever reason because they don't want me to have any help whatsoever. So, yeah, people need to know about what's going on here as well because, as I said, who knows how many people they have done this to in the past and gotten away with it. And if people don't find out about what's going on here, who knows how many people are going to go through this in the future. So thank you for listening, everyone. If you've listened to this video right through, thank you so much. And yeah, if anyone can help me, it's a very urgent situation I'm in and I need help. So thanks again for watching and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye for now and God bless.